everyone, it's Holly and I'm here with another review. Today I'm going to review 2 books in Sabrina Jeffries' The Duke's Men series. So the first book, What the Duke Desires, and the third book, How the Scoundrel Seduces. And I feel like it may seem kind of weird to review the first and third books in the series, but one, I don't own the second book, so I haven't read it. Maybe when I read that one and the fourth one, I'll review them together. But the reason I kind of decided to review these together is I have very similar thoughts about them. I rated them the same thing for basically the same reasons, and so I thought that would kind of make sense. And I wanted to talk more about romance on my channel, so figured I'd do a review for you. Basically, what the general synopsis is you have this family. It's a brother, a sister, and then another brother, and the brother, like one brother, is the legitimate son of, I don't know, he's like a baron or something like that, I don't know, you know, nobility. A baron's not nobility though, right? I don't know, whatever. And then you have the other brother and sister who are like bastards, and when their dad dies, he doesn't leave anything for them, and through some events that happens, the legitimate brother ends up being leaving, because they have another brother who's an ass, leaving with these two, and they kind of have to make their way in the world. And so he makes like an investigative agency, and then the bastard brother, who's Tristan, he kind of runs away to France. And the sister, Lizette, the first book is her story, kind of helps her brother and both of them really and everything. And so everything gets kicked off when in the first book her brother Tristan sends a letter to a duke telling him that he knows something about his like long lost brother, and Lizette and the duke have to go try and find her brother. And along the ways, mysteries are solved and love is formed. Similarly, the third book is actually Tristan's story, and this one, he is an investigator, and he ends up being hired by a girl who believes that she is not the child of the people who have raised her, which is a big deal because unlike most people, she will inherit the property she lives on because of the way it's set up. So instead of it going to a male heir, it is going to her, and so she feels like wrong about that if she's not who she thinks she is. And again, mysteries are solved, love ensues. They're both historical romance, and I gave them both 3 stars. So like I said, I have very similar review or feelings about these books, which first of all, I thought that they were both pretty average books. I didn't think that they were anything special or surprising, but you know, they were enjoyable. I don't have major complaints about them, and I would probably read them again in the future. And I am going to read the other books in the series. So the characters. Out of all of them, my favorite is the girl from How the Scoundrel Seduces, Zoe. She was great. She was funny. She was very original. She is kind of unique. So like she dresses with dash is what she says, where she'll like have like a splash of color, or she'll combine patterns and stuff. And it's a part of her character, and I found it very entertaining. The first book, one of my biggest complaints about it was the characters. I liked both of them as like individual characters and everything, but their character growth was very much like 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of a thing. Like a lot of times, like Lizette for example, she would be like, I'm not taking this, and then on the next page she'd be like, okay. And it's like, it's either you're a weak character or it's sloppy writing, and so it happened a few times, so it's not like it just happened once, it happened consistently. The next thing is the romances, and so in both of these I found them to be a little fast. I don't care if like the physical aspect of your relationship is rushed. I mean, if it is, there should be a reason, but dropping the L word like 2 days into knowing somebody kind of throws me off. Sometimes it's written and I completely buy it and it works, but usually it's not. And I know romances usually work in a constrained time frame, but so it is easier for me to overlook it, but it's way too fast for me. The physical aspects of their relationship completely worked for me. Like, I thought that they were attracted to each other, like both couples, and all of that made sense. And I've actually been thinking this a lot lately with my books, is like being like, it's moving too fast, it's moving too fast. And I'm starting to wonder if reading Krista and Becca Ritchie's books have, like, I want to say ruined me, but like kind of ruined me, because those books take place over such a long period of time that like the characters, like their relationships are really able to grow naturally, that now I'm like, why don't other authors do that? I don't know. Or maybe the books I'm reading really just are progressing too fast. So my last thing, like all my reviews, is would I recommend these books? And I would say if you're just looking for a standard historical romance, I would. Especially if you're used to the genre, feel free to check it out. If you like Sabrina Jeffries, you'll probably at least get enjoyment out of these, but maybe like as a library book instead of a buy. I wouldn't use them as like my introduction to romance or anything like that, but they're perfectly enjoyable, and like I said, I do plan on reading the other books in the series, so I don't have major issues with them. I hope you liked this review and you found it helpful or anything like that, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!